a baby.
When?
I don't know, 9 months from now. Isn't that standard?
No, when did it happen?
The summer. A summer baby.
It's hard to say.
Boy or girl? I know you can't know, but...
Does he know?
Do you have a guess?
Whoever the he is.
No. But
Yes?
I think
You should tell him.
it's a boy.
That will be interesting.
Why a boy?
If you had a choice,
I will tell him.
if you could wish a future on your child,
What's the holdup?
what path would you give for them to move through this world? The path of a woman? Or
A man. A man has a right to know.
But that
Baby
is
girl
just
things
it.
are so cute, though.
He's not exactly a man.
they're babies for such a brief time?
Explain.
Explain.
There are 2 versions of the story. Which do you want?
Both.
Option 1.
1.
How strong is your faith?
A girl.
A virgin. That's important.
From birth is a disappointment. A consolation prize. A participation trophy to everyone but her mother.
A virginal virgin. Devoted, I serve at the altar of Zeus, god of Olympus, where he fled after the battle of the Titans. Killed, supposedly, but a god can't really be killed. A god is immortal.
A girl has no power. I mean, look at us. Our father, Cadmus, sower of dragon's teeth, king of Thebes, has 4 daughters. You, I know, me, Agave, and our sisters, Semele and Autonoe. We're strong, capable, yet we are insufficient. Our brother, Polydorus, though incapable, though a brat, will one day rule our kingdom, our home, our Thebes. Not us. Women must be kept under thumb.
Zeus is touched by my devotion and by my virginal virginness.
Because, in truth, we have more power than them, the men. We can hold secrets.
So I was given a gift.
Whose child am I carrying?
Echion's? Your husband?
Are you sure?
A glass.
What do you mean?
Are you sure?
No.
No.
And now that you doubt it, you can never undoubt it. So women must be controlled, subjugated, so men never have any discomfort,
No. A chalice.
any doubt.
A chalice of his blood to drink.
Her body is mine, so that child is mine.
I drink it.
A girl is born into subjugation, into control, into repression. Her body is dangerous.
I have to, but I also want to.
So it's commodified and kept under thumb.
What does it taste like?
What do you think it tasted like?
Wine. Really good wine. Like your first sip of really good wine.
It tasted like fruit punch.
Fruit punch?
People get from the gods, from religion really, what they're looking for. I wanted it to taste like fruit punch, so it did. It would taste like wine for you.
Fruit punch.
As I swallowed his blood, his seed took hold in me, rooted itself in my womb.
Well, that's not how that works. There are systems, separate systems in the body.
I asked you, how strong is your faith?
Strong, I think.
Good. So, then, a child, his child,
A boy,
a boy,
on the other hand.
because such fathers only beget boys, is on his way.
Option 2.
Still a virgin, at the start at least, because that matters for girls.
A boy is freedom.
I have to be untainted, pure.
No anxiety.
There can be no question,
That's right.
no doubt.
No fear.
Devoted, I serve at the altar of Zeus, and the god in the form of an eagle flies daily overhead and is moved by my devotion, so he says. But really, it's my tits. He visits me.
As an eagle?
As a man, how would that work? With an eagle? No, he visits as a man and things go in the traditional route.
Traditionally, any child of Polydorus would be heir. But what if he doesn't have a boy? Or, more likely, has no child?
Why wouldn't he have a child?
Getting a child requires getting a woman first. Consider our brother for a moment.
Oh, right.
So, my son
A son.
will be heir.
The child of a god.
One day, king of Thebes.
A bastard?
A prince?
No.
Yes. No one will believe the story. My story. No one believes women.
He will know privilege.
Well, there's two stories. That's confusing.
And I will do my best to raise him to be a better sort of man. But my husband and our father will undermine me with their good intentions and their pride and their joy.
There are far more than two, but the others come from Eastern countries, so they'll always be dismissed.
And I know I will wonder in my child. But that love will allow our men to do their damage.
Pick one. The true one. Just tell that one.
It's hard not to spoil a baby.
But which one is the true one? Oh, I know which one will stick. It will be option 1, the virginal virgin one.
It's hard to remember that boys are not babies.
The one where I have barely any autonomy.
That young men and men are not babies.
The one where I am selected for my devotion and not for my tits, which are great, and I know it, which is likely part of the problem with that version. Self-possession is only a worthy quality in men. In women, it's considered arrogance and sluttishness. Such a woman couldn't be considered to bear the child of God.
Are you sure you would rather have a boy?
The one where I'm visited by the power of God as God, not God as man. So chaste. The blood drinking will stick around with that version too, but it will come later in the story.
Absolutely.
It's too deliciously sensational to lose altogether, but the blood will taste like wine, just as you called it, because that's more universal than fruit punch.
Haven't you been listening?
Which is bullshit, because fruit punch is delicious, but I suppose it doesn't feel as sacred-y.
Our sister,
Emily.
Agave,
Is also,
is also expecting.
Expecting what?
a child.
Of course. How do you know?
She told me
She told me.
What did you say?
that I hoped it was a girl, but now...
It will be a boy too.
How do you know?
It's Agave. Her womb is made of iron.
She's a child.
An inhospitable environment for the more fun sex.
She is very much not a child, big sister.
Be kind.
There was finally something that was going to be mine.
She must be thrilled.
This is yours.
We're all thrilled. Or we should be.
Something I didn't have to share with any of you.
She's been married 5 years and nothing.
I thought you liked sharing.
Until now. What a blessing.
I know.
A shared baby shower could be so cute though, right?
Right?
I'm not going to pretend to have feelings that I don't have just because you consider it more polite, Otanoe.
This is still yours.
Semele.
Family.
What? This is going to make things harder for me.
Does she know who the father is? She doesn't know.
You know I'm right.
No, she knows. It's just confusing.
She's having a Prince of Thebes. I'm having the competition.
Confusing? How?
Well, it's either a man eagle or...
Well, this wise talk. Who suddenly gave you a crystal ball, my baby sister?
God.
When the god suddenly enters your body, you're speaking the future.
God. Oh, little one. These games and these fantasies of yours. I know it's hard to be the last in the family line,
That's what she said.
to still feel special.
We indulged her too much.
It doesn't have to be a god, you know?
God. A handsome herdsman is more like it.
Your family will still love you. And this child. Papa, too. You have nothing to be afraid of. Say it wasn't a god in any form. Say it was just a Theban young man, handsome or no.
I don't know that he has to be handsome. Semele has some weird tastes.
That you took a shine to. That you let go a little too far. That's human enough.
Oh, I have to speak with her. She has to let
Let
this
this
story
go.
But
What if it's true?
So what if it is?
It isn't. How could it be? This story,
This story will only make things hard.
Agave! People like stories.
True or no? The important thing now. This baby.
Let Semele be Semele. Focus on this baby.
Think of him.
I think of nothing, but him.
him. But who I am.
Will inform who he is. Who his family is will inform who he is. And an aunt spreading a story like this will be...
I won't be a source of shame, dismissed as a kook. I will tell my story, believable or no, because it is true. Because my story is his
story will be his to write. I won't have him haunted by family gossip.
Because I love him so much.
Though I have never met him,
And for his future.
I see great things. My
My
son
son
will give people hope.
He will free them.
Give them order.
Teach them not to fear the dark.
To step into the light always.
He will release them back into nature.
Build the walls of their homes and government buildings.
Remind them that they have bodies.
Feed their minds.
Open
their souls.
Connect them to the earth.
To master it.
Teach them to see themselves as a part of it.
Tame it so it will provide for them in return.
To nourish it so that they might receive nourishment from it in return.
And people
People
will submit to his
ways.
ways. He will teach them self-control,
Abandonment.
morality,
Carnality.
so that they will know their true selves and
not be
understand
afraid, and understand that
pleasure is only found through pain. He will teach them that they are individuals, unique,
Parts of a whole.
and that the polis only shines through that assertion.
That society is sunk by selfishness, and that
Civilizations
are built on such values.
values. He will transform his people. And I
And I
You?
will tear apart his enemies.
I
Will rip them with my teeth. Tear them with my naked hands.
will
Act the mother huntress and kill the opposing lion.
I will shimmer into fire.
What do you
What do
mean?
you mean?
I don't know.
It's a metaphor.
But it will happen. Our sons will be at war, and in the end, it will be hard to tell who the villain is.
Hate that. It's fine. Mm, mm. Mm. Mm, mm. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Mm, mm. Mm. Oh shoot. Oh. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Mm, mm. Hi. You. You're.
Hey!
Hey!
I'm so sorry about the wait. We were just finishing something up.
Don't worry.
Producers can be so fucking needy. I mean, between you and me, they are giant babies. You been waiting long?
Just a few minutes.
Good, great. Oh, I hate being late to things.
Oh man, me too.
One of the producers is a good friend of mine, and even he is getting on my last nerve. Anyway, hi.
Hi.
D. Watkins. Okay, let me just look at your resume here, get a little refresher. Oh, I forgot to ask this in your initial audition. Is D short for anything?
Denise.
Huh.
Named after my grandmother.
Nice. Yeah, I can understand why you decided to go by D, though. It's cleaner. So, my assistant gave you the rundown
A rundown?
of what we'll be doing.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Awesome. So, you don't have to read again. This time is just for me to get to know more about you. See how we vibe, you know? We're in a really collaborative room, and it's important to me that everyone clicks and that everyone feels like they have the space to contribute.
I like that.
Now, a lot of directors think they have good give and take with their artists, but so I try to do everything I can to be true to my word.
Really leading a revolution, huh? Oh, thanks for calling me back, by the way.
No. No need to thank me. You gave a great first read. Pretty hard to pass up.
Still, it was...
Hey, you belong here, okay? I'm serious. I was really excited when I found you. And I hope this works out.
Me too.
The search has been pretty intense, but I want to get this right, you know? Like really right. And, you know, usually I don't do this sort of thing.
Auditions?
No, I do that, but I don't usually do them like this. But I made an exception for you.
Over Zoom, you mean?
Yes. Well, yeah, Zoom auditions are, I guess we're all new to that. But it's just that at this level, people usually need an agent to submit them.
Ah, I get it.
It's so formal and bullshit, of course, but it's just the way things are done, you know?
Oh, I know. I've been stuck in EMC land for a long time.
God, that union threshold can be so hard to break through. I mean, if it makes you feel any better, it's not such a pretty picture once you're in the union either.
I'll remember that the next time I'm in line all day for an equity audition. Sorry.
No need to apologize. You're honest. I like that.
Some might say mouthy.
Then those some aren't the right collaborators for you.
So, if you don't usually see non-equity, then why me? I mean, I'm flattered, don't get it twisted, but I'm curious.
I love that. Always feel like you can ask me questions. You totally can. Anyway, there's just something about you. I've got an instinct about these things. And you've got a great look. Really perfect for this. I've been working with the same people for a while now. I like to have a strong bond and relationship with my collaborators, but it's time for some new blood. And with the show getting picked up, it's really important that we bring things to the next level.
I get that. Have you got everyone cast, or?
This part is my only missing puzzle piece, but like from one of those really impossible 5,000 piece puzzles that's just like color gradients. The rest of the original cast is coming along, so.
It was just the leading role that was vacant.
I feel like I need to be honest about something. Just full transparency. The actor playing Iris bowed out before the transfer, but that happens.
Why'd she leave? If that's okay to ask.
Totally. We had some creative differences in the end, and I think the rest is really Mia's story to tell. But the long and short of it is she had some personal stuff to deal with. It wasn't the right time for her to take on a project of this size. And it was for the best, really. I mean, she was great, just not quite what we needed at this stage. And you're good with the timing? We're aiming to work in the new Iris starting next week.
That's quick.
Yeah, well, this business, we move fast.
I can make it work.
Great. And were you able to see the first run?
I didn't get a chance. The restaurant where I work is constantly understaffed.
Yeah, and the ticket price wasn't great either, huh?
Well, yeah, that too.
That's pretty much what I was just fighting with the producers about just now. I want them to make a ticketing policy that opens the door for more people to see this show, and not just through the lottery. Seth, he's one of the producers. He is the only one who's in my corner. That's what's really got me bummed about moving the show. These Broadway prices are such a crime, and off-Broadway really isn't any better. You know that. You'd probably need 2 more jobs to afford a regular price ticket, yeah? Sorry. There I go, making assumptions. It's just like, I used to work in restaurants and I would never want to go back.
Right. Let's just say it would be a really nice one-time only birthday and Christmas gift to myself. And even then, I'd probably have to be way the hell back in the mezzanine.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I am trying to push to make things better. What the hell good am I if I don't use my influence to make sure it's not just like old white folks who see this thing? I think it's really important that POC get to see this show.
Definitely.
She's changing the game. She's paving the way.
They've ruined so much, and she's going to take it back.
She's going to take it all back.
For women?
For all of us. A trailblazer.
A doer.
A real go-getter.
What will she do next?
I can't wait to see what she'll do next. She's my hero. Me too.
Me too.
Fuck. What a director. What an artist.
What an inspiration.
Ilana.
Alana.
So, Dee, what drew you to this work?
The play, or?
Oh, the theater.
That's a big question.
Absolutely. I don't believe in wading through the small shit. Theater is about the biggest moments of our lives, especially Greek theater. Might as well get into it.
I can't even remember the last time someone asked me that. I've always loved it. This might sound cliche, but it feels like home.
And what does home mean?
It's a place where you get to be you, where you can be ugly, vulnerable, wide open.
You get to be that.
Yes, exactly.
No, I mean, you get to be that.
Oh, right.
That's something I talk about with actors all the time. How it's important to say I statements so that you're not trying to get away from your own feelings. You're saying you instead of I is this tiny way that we shut ourselves out from our own lives. A professor in an undergrad acting class taught me that when I was 18, and it rocked my world. What are you thinking about?
I think it's also about not putting your shit on someone else. Like, if I use you instead of I, then I don't have to take on the truth of what I'm saying. Someone else is holding it for me.
Huh. I like that. God, I love smart actors. I wish there were more like you. So, the theater feels like home. And why is that important to you?
Home is really hard to find.
You're still looking for yours.
It's like,
You've never known what home is.
No, that's not it. I had a great childhood and all that. It's more like I've been living in the city for nearly 10 years now, and I still feel like I'm trying to get my footing, and it's something that we need to...
I need...
Right. It's something I need to belong to something, to somewhere.
You want to be part of something.
Sure, but it's not quite that. It's a need to feel grounded. I want to be rooted in myself, and theater helps me do that. And it's where I get to be wild. Every time I become a character, I find something new about myself, and that takes me closer to who I'm meant to be. I think that's connected to what Iris wants too.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Because she's a messenger for the gods. She can't be part of the sea or the sky. So she can't stay still, can't settle into her own. I feel that. And people look at her all the time. She's this great beauty, right? But do they really see her?
What do you mean?
She's a rainbow, so her function is to bring joy to other people when they look at her. But rainbows are transparent. Like, if you flew into the sky straight at a rainbow, eventually it would disappear. The closer you got to it, the less you would see. Whatever she holds inside, no one can get to it. So she's giving constantly, making other people happy. But she never gets a chance to feel any of that herself or to be recognized.
It's important for you to be seen.
Sure. Isn't that important for everyone?
Have you ever played a role like Iris before? Something as big as her? It's okay if you haven't.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime role.
That's not what I asked.
I got to play some big parts in undergrad, and I've been the ingenue a few times in some very DIY Shakespeare productions, but nothing like this. Iris is a dream role.
And you said you've been here for 10 years?
Sometimes I'll leave to do tours or do summer stops somewhere, but yeah, this has been my base. A whole decade. Strange to think about it like that.
And you still haven't broken through. I'm just surprised is all. You're really great.
Even if I am, I'm among a sea of greats. It's not easy to stand out.
Yeah, well, there's plenty making it harder than it needs to be. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with you. I mean, you speak so well. You really got to know Iris.
She deserves that.
You see? This is why I want new people on the team, a fresh perspective, someone who's an outsider.
An outsider?
No, that's a good thing. Sometimes being an insider fucks with you. It makes you unable to see things clearly. New people can shake things up, and I want people like you to have a platform, to have a shot at
people like me?
Yes. Someone like you who can Sorry about that. It's silenced. Shouldn't bother us again.
Are you sure you don't need to get
No, it's fine. It's just my agent. What was I saying?
People like me.
Right. People like you who can bring something new to the table, I mean. Sometimes when you're developing a new play, have you ever been a part of the development process before?
I've done readings, but
people can get so close to these characters that it stunts them. The characters stop growing or evolving, and that hurts the play. You follow me?
That makes sense.
Can I tell you something, Dee?
Sure.
I love this play. I love this play so fucking much. How do you feel about it?
I think it's a really special piece.
Exactly. It's an important play, a necessary one. I know I can be pushy, but I am like that because a play like this needs a full-throated effort. People need to see it, but they need to see it in its best, truest form. Where this piece was in the workshop, it was great. That's why producers believe in it. That's why they're giving us more money to give it a bigger audience. But we need the world to believe in it too. If they can't feel it in their bones, we haven't done our jobs. There is a lot of pressure for this to be the next big hit, and I don't mind being honest about how much that freaks me out. So we need to do better than great. And to do that, we've got to skim off another layer, peel back whatever is holding the show back. People, this play, it's still looking to find itself. What was the word you used?
The root.
I think that you can help me find its root. What do you say? You want to do that?
I'd love to.
You want in?
Yes, absolutely. Wow. Thank you.
No, believe me, it should be me thanking you. It's time you were given something meaty like this. You're up for the challenge, I can tell. And, I don't have to tell you what a role like this can do for your career. Hang on, Dee. I'm so sorry. Just 1 second, okay?
Did you see it?
Which article did you read?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
How dare they do that to her?
Do you think it's true?
Of course it's true.
Okay, but how do you know?
Why did you even ask that?
I just want to be sure. Allegations like this pop up all the time.
You're being obtuse.
You're being a moron.
I'm just saying. I've heard she plays the victim a lot.
What an asshole.
There's no way that woman is faking.
It's true.
It's
all true.
She was so brave to step forward.
She put herself out there.
It can't be for nothing.
What are we going to do now?
We have to do something.
They can't get away with this.
They won't get away with this.
Has Alana responded yet?
Do you think she will?
I think she said enough.
I'm not interested in hearing from her.
What about an apology?
Who cares about her apologies?
They're hollow.
Lip service.
Empty words.
No, an apology would be good.
She's not who I thought she was.
Not who I thought she was.
Not who I thought she was.
Sorry about that, Dee. Just some business.
You're out of breath.
What?
You seem out of breath.
Oh, a little frazzled is all.
What's got you frazzled?
Oh, nothing. Just work stuff.
Seemed like it was an intense phone call. Before you turned off your camera? Seemed like there was some shit going down. Something extra frazzling.
What did you see?
Does it matter? It's all bad.
Can you let me explain?
I don't know what needs to be explained. It seems pretty clear to me.
I think if you just let me walk you through everything.
I heard plenty.
Okay, no, hang on. What is it you think you heard?
You weren't looking for new blood. This wasn't about bringing fresh eyes to the process.
I do need new people.
You didn't have creative differences. You shoved me out.
Okay, yes, but it's more complicated than that. There's.
So what is it then?
It's about being a team. About having the right team to move forward. She wasn't ready for that. As I said, her work wasn't ready for that.
Really?
Yes. Mia did great work during development, but there was a point where we stalled.
You told me this already.
Yes, but there's more to it. You could feel it in the room. It lacked buzz. It wasn't driving forward anymore. She took the role as far as she could, and I think she knew that. I tried to push her, but it wasn't working.
You hurt her.
No, her work was affecting the rest of the cast. It wasn't fair to them. That's the real issue. I mean, there's no shame in reaching a stopping point, but when your behavior starts to hurt the people around you, I couldn't take her to Broadway.
Wow.
I think she's just frustrated.
Even now, you won't admit it.
Okay,
What about what happened with the producer?
Again, it's more complicated than anyone realizes.
Is that why you wanted me? Because I'm not equity? You thought it would be easier to get me on board because I would be
Dee,
desperate enough.
let's just calm down and talk about this rationally.
What did you just say to me?
Sorry. Things are just really intense. But I think we can work this out if you'll just let me walk you through everything. Will you let me do that? Okay. Mia and I have worked together for a long time, and she was my first choice for Iris. God, I think she's a fine actor, and she could have been big. But there is a lot going on with her that most people don't know about. She didn't mention that in the video or to the papers, did she?
No.
And I don't think she should, that's her business. I don't think she should have to put that out there if she doesn't want to. But the stuff with Seth, I mean, it just makes no sense.
Why is that?
Seth would never do that. He is not the kind of man who would go after an actor like that.
You mean assault them?
You just have to trust me on this. He is a good guy. He's the one who was on my side about making the show accessible, remember? And Mia has been under a lot of stress lately. I think, the pressure of the show transferring just got to her, and she came after us. She lawyered up. She was going to ruin all of the hard work that we put into this.
What about the work she put in? It was her work, too.
Right. You're right. But don't you see? She didn't leave me a choice.
You ruined her.
Not exactly.
Because you and the producers have been blacklisting her all over town.
That's not true.
What? You've got something else you want to spin? Why are you believing some rich guy over her?
Okay, that's enough. I appreciate you wanting to stand up for her. What can I say that would fix this? Dee, let me level with you. Mia is not going to be in this play. I'm sad about that. I really am. She's one of my closest friends. This whole thing hangs really heavy on me.
Then you could have helped her. Why didn't you do something?
Like I said, I didn't have a choice.
I think you had plenty of choices.
The things that have been done, I can't undo. I don't have the kind of power you think I do, and I can't just magically fix this. I'm just a director. I have my bosses too. Now, I am trying to move forward. This play is going to happen. That much is true. So we might as well try to get something out of this situation, right? You are right for Iris. I feel that.
No, come on. You could find another person in a second.
No.
Clearly.
No, I can't. I need the right person. It matters who plays Iris.
You don't know what you're asking me to do.
I am asking you to be in a play on Broadway.
I'd be a scab, basically. A betrayer of assault survivors.
No one would think that. They would just think you're an actor who took a job. Who could blame someone for that?
I'd be betraying another Black woman. You will never understand what that means. That might not be a big deal to you, but it is to me. That matters.
I hear that. But you would be in a play that would change the trajectory of your entire life. Doesn't that count for something?
No.
I don't believe
Oh my
that.
God, just stop. Why me? Why do you need me so fucking badly?
Everyone else said no. Everyone in my circle, I mean, they're friends with Mia.
And shouldn't that tell you something? I just don't feel good about this. I'm saying no.
You can save this play. You can help me fix this. I'm not a bad person, Dee, and I've worked so long and so hard on this play. I just want to see it work.
Are you having a stroke or something?
Be able to move on and blow over.
Alana? Are you okay? Please don't do that.
Ilana, what are you going to do next?
I'm going to write a public apology to Mia.
Who are you?
And what is it not going to be?
Incredibly vague and unspecific.
That's right. What else?
I'm going to tell the truth about Seth. Mia's not the only one who's told me what he's done to them.
And?
I'm going to resign from the production.
Good. It's a start.
What the fuck is going on? What just happened to Alana?
She chose a better path.
Chose? Okay, maybe that doesn't matter. What happens now?
We leave. Our work's done for now.
And the play?
There's a vacancy now. A space to fill.
Iris.
Something bigger.
You want me to direct?
The play. The movement. Both. Neither. Whatever you like.
I'm an actor, not a director.
You're an artist.
Sure, but I've never directed.
Every leader has been a follower before. Everyone has their first.
I don't know.
What if no one had told you there was a ladder to climb, with rungs that were placed just so?
Then there'd be no two-storied houses or kitchens with tall cabinets. This is a lot, what you want me to do.
We know. But it's yours, if you want it. The space to create something new. They're calling for you. Will you answer? Do you hear them? Do you hear them singing? They are yours.
I invited them for dinner. I had no choice in the matter. I had to. Really, it was the only way. Otherwise, we would have to have dinner there. I would rather not, thank you. God only knows what they'd serve. They seem to be taking their time unpacking. It seems to me if I moved, I'd see to it that the boxes were unpacked right away. These people had been in the house for 3 days, and there were still boxes around. Aggie wanted to know if it was at least clean. Even with boxes, they should keep it clean, she said. I was only in the foyer, so I couldn't tell. When I told Aggie they were coming to our home for dinner, she was not happy. But once I explained the alternative, she agreed it was best that they come here. She always ends up agreeing with me in the end. A good woman that way. She was all in knots, trying to figure out what they eat. I told her not to go out of her way.
The first time he came to our door, I thought he was selling something. And maybe he is. He wanted to speak to the man of the house. Is the man of the house home, he asked. My husband wasn't home, and when I asked if there was something I could do for him, he seemed taken aback. Said he was my neighbor and thought it might be nice to get to know my husband. Wouldn't you like to get to know his wife as well, I thought, but it's clear that he has some sort of issue with women, though I didn't know that until he returned. I tell him DIONTE is out running some errands. There are things we needed for the new house. It's bigger than our last. We're moving on up. I tell him DIONTE may be back in half an hour. And wouldn't you know, half an hour on the dot, there's that neighbor of ours eager to once again meet my husband. And when I tell him that DIONTE's not back yet, he gave me such a look. The kind of look a child gives you when they don't get something they wanted. So now I feel like I have to calm this fool down so he doesn't throw some sort of temper tantrum. So I invite him inside. When I invited him inside, you would have thought I propositioned him for sex. I wanted to tell him, your pasty white ass is not my type. But I don't. And he does come in. But do you think I could get him to move from beyond the foyer? Crazy white man just stood there looking stupid.
When I walked in, he was just standing there, looking stupid. KHAI had texted,
"Hurry home. There is a white man in our home and he looks lost."
I recognized him as the man who wouldn't leave his front yard when we arrived on our first day. He seemed to be looking for reasons to be in his front yard that day. I wondered if he was taking notes for the welcoming committee. I wasn't too far off the mark. He introduced himself as
Penn Cadman. I'd like to take you golfing.
What an ass, I think. I tell him I don't golf, and I get KHAI, who just simply rolls her eyes. Then she suggests that he and his family come to our home for dinner.
Maybe in a week or so. We're still settling in, as you can see, but we'd love to have you and your family.
But then he says,
No. Why don't you come to my home for dinner? My wife would be happy to have you.
I know damn well that if I invited someone into our home without consulting her first, I would never hear the end of it. I tell him that's nice of him and understand if he might want to consult with his wife first. But no, he assures us that she loves to play hostess and then suggests that we come over the next night. I look at KHAI, who looks at me and simply shrugs her shoulders, and well, here we are.
Here we are.
Welcome. How are you?
Good to see you again. He answers the door and we are led quickly into the backyard. No tour, no nothing. But not before DIONTE hands him the bottle of wine that we bought.
We couldn't come empty-handed.
I'm distracted, not only by the brisk manner in which we are led to the backyard, but also the garden flag. It's unexpected with ancient Greek figurines. Your flag. But he's distracted by the wine. He seems almost mesmerized by it. I explained to him.
Dee and I picked up several bottles when we were in Southern California last summer. That particular one is the Paso Robles blend.
DIONTE says.
It's delicious, light, and smooth. I'd be happy to open it. I bought a fabulous bottle opener.
As Dee fishes around for his bottle opener, I explained to him that DIONTE is a bit of a wine connoisseur.
Dee's taking classes in tasting and pairing.
I questioned whether or not he's heard anything DIONTE or I have said. DIONTE, however, is unfazed by this man's odd behavior and continues to share his dreams of being a sommelier. This seems to hit a note with our neighbor, who looks at my husband as if he were some sort of foreigner and says,
My wife and I don't drink. Ah,
DIONTE says, and I can tell that he's as put off as I am by the look that this neighbor of ours has given him.
It's not a friendly look, but it's not a look to cause alarm either. I like to think of it as a look of someone who thinks they're in control, but they're not. I offer to take the bottle of wine back, but he insists that it remain on the table. Speaking of the table, damn, the table!
Damn, the table. Woo! A lot.
Shit, it is a lot. Especially for folks who claim not to enjoy a fine bottle of wine. It is a table fit for the gods. Even more so now with our bottle of wine on there. There is a pine cone topiary at the center, surrounded by fruit. Now, mind you, I don't mean to read into things, but this begs a reading, especially from a scholar like myself. The fruit screams orgy. I look at KHAI, who looks at me and mouths,
Swingers?
I wouldn't put it past these two. They're wound so tight. But sadly, my Reblasian radar suggests they're deprived. I question whether they have sex with each other until I hear Penn say,
Unfortunately, our daughter couldn't be here tonight. She had a school engagement.
Oh, you have a daughter. She in high school, college?
She's at the university. She's a business major, our little girl. Studying to follow in her daddy's footsteps. Takes after me. She's a golfer. On the women's golf team.
Oh, we work at the university.
Oh, how nice, they say. And then proceed to tell me how they're both employed at the university. This I didn't expect. And it makes me angry because I like to know these things. There was a time when we vetted who moved into this neighborhood, and I would have known everything about these people. But as it is, I know nothing. And am feeling unsettled with the wine, which I didn't see coming, and reminds me of my youth and their being employed at the university? Oh, I say.
In what capacity?
I'm expecting African studies or some sort of nonsense like that, but instead I get...
I'm an English professor with the focus in Roublé.
And I coach women's lacrosse.
That's how we met.
Lacrosse. We both played. I also teach a class in the classes department. I had asked you about your garden flag earlier. Are you a classicist?
To which he responds, not so pleasantly.
A what?
A classicist. Do you like the ancient Greek?
Do I like the ancient Greeks?
Do I like the ancient Greeks? I don't know what to do with these people. I don't know who Rabelais is. I don't know what a classicist is. And it feels like they're out to try to make a fool of me. But I hold my own. I won't be made a fool of. So I explained to the woman that yes, I do like the ancient Greeks.
My favorite is Oedipus. Now there was a guy. He was a great king helping to rid thieves of the Sphinx and a plague. A wonderful king.
I'm pleased with my knowledge of Oedipus. But then she has the audacity to question me.
Really? You think he was a great king?
I look at her and notice for the first time that she is far too pretty. Her top is cut far too low, revealing too much cleavage, if you ask me. It's pretty. The top. But my Aggie would never wear a top like that. She's a good woman. Modest, conservative. These people? I look at him, DIONTE, and realize he is quite muscular. He's wearing a suede vest and his shirt is tight against his muscles. I hear the woman again asking about Oedipus, and I try to change the subject.
I wonder what's keeping Aggie.
I'm happy to go see if she needs any help.
I wonder if that's a good idea. I don't know how Aggie would feel about it. But before I can respond, she's up and at the door. I watch the door close behind her, and now I'm left with him. He's smiling and seems so jovial. It's unsettling.
Your wife doesn't seem to be much of a fan of Oedipus.
Thinking as a man, he'll side with me, but he says...
Well, he was a pretty terrible king. I mean, he did kill his father, sleep with his mother, father 4 children with her, and bring a far worse plague and fate on the people of Thebes. Then again, Thebes had a history of terrible kings.
He's laughing, and I can't tell if it's friendly or at my expense. I, of course, had forgotten all that about Oedipus. How did I forget that? This evening was not going as planned. I simply wanted to know who I was contending with these new neighbors. We used to vet people. We had a realtor who would do it for us. But then word got out and there were lawsuits. I don't see why people can't have more control over their neighborhoods. I don't see what's wrong with it. It saves me the trouble of learning that my new neighbors are blacks that play lacrosse and read Rabelais, whoever that is. Some black author, no doubt, lamenting the plight of the black people. It's got me hot under the collar just thinking about it. But then I think of my daughter. My little girl. She's always been such a good girl and good with people and smart. I wish she were here now. I wouldn't look like a fool if she were here. But she had a lecture tonight. She loves to attend the lectures at school, and she has got the grades to show it. I use this as leverage.
My daughter Kit is attending a lecture at the business school. She's studying finance.
Interesting. I'm afraid I don't know all the various lectures held at the university. Just the ones in the School of Liberal Arts. I know there's a lecture this evening in the Gender Women Studies department. They brought in a highly respected scholar to talk about sexuality in the 21st century. He wrote a book called More Than Pansexuality, The Pansexual Deified. I would be there tonight if I weren't here. It fits nicely into my field of study.
Pansexual?
Pansexual? I wonder who these people are and what values they're bringing into my home.
Yes, it is one of the many sexual identities being recognized and embraced today, at least among the younger folk.
You're not talking about those trans people, are you?
No, transgender is speaking of someone's gender identity. No, this is sexual identity. You know, heterosexual, homosexual, pansexual.
He looks at me dumbfounded, as clearly I've thrown a wrench into his limited knowledge. So, I briefly explain. Pansexual is someone who's not interested in their partner's gender. They may partner with anyone, male, female, transgender, gender non-binary. And he says, clearly bothered, just as KHAI returns from the kitchen.
That's just a bunch of mumbo-jumbo.
Uh-oh, what are you two talking about? DIONTE, you're not getting Penn all riled up with your talk of Rabelais.
Not at all, dear. I haven't mentioned Rabelais at all.
Well, that's good.
No, I was simply defining pansexuality for our dear neighbor.
Now I should pause here and state without any equivocation that there is nothing dear about this neighbor to my wife and I. My wife and I didn't crawl from under some rock. We know what we're dealing with. We know we're only here to be interrogated, and it's disheartening, sure. But why not let them know who we are? And have some fun while we're at it. Isn't that right, my love?
Most definitely. But don't rush it. I know the climax is nearing, but you know I hate it when you end too soon.
Indeed I do. Well now, where were we?
I was simply defining pansexuality for our dear neighbor. You see, he mentioned that his daughter, Kit, was it?
Yes.
Had a lecture this evening at the business school. Well, I simply mentioned a lecture at my school about pansexuality. And so I simply defined pansexuality.
Well, that seems harmless enough.
Only clearly it's not harmless because Penn is looking unsettled. He keeps looking at the kitchen door, awaiting his Aggie, who, might I say, is as repressed as he is. I don't think that woman will ever be satisfied. I looked at DIONTE and say,
Don't you have a kid in your class?
I do. Interestingly. I'm sure it's not your daughter, though. No, indeed a different kit. Because this kit is immersed in the gender and woman studies mumbo jumbo. And I'm quite certain it's polyamorous.
Ooh, fun.
Well, she's certainly having fun.
Our neighbor looks angry now. I mean, for real. He proceeds to tell us how his daughter wouldn't do that. Of course not, I say. I didn't mean to imply that she would. Although there's certainly nothing wrong with it if she did. And he begins to lose his shit. For real. But quite frankly, I think he might have lost it a long time ago. Probably when he gave up drinking fine wine. He says,
I invited you people into my home on good faith.
Which is a load of crap.
And here you are bringing your vile ideas into my home, implying that my daughter is depraved. Where's my wife?
She's in the kitchen. When I left her, she was basting. It looks like she still has a lot of basting to do still. And clearly, we've upset you. And while it was not our intention to leave you unsettled in this manner, I'm wondering, Dee, if we should leave.
I stand in agreement. We should go. I graciously thank our host and offer to take the bottle of wine back. I tell him I meant no harm in bringing it into his home, but he's so angry he won't let me have it back. He says,
I'll keep it, thank you, as a reminder of your debauchery.
And KHAI and I smile. We're happy to let him have a bottle of wine, as he may need it more than us. And now at this point in the evening, I'm getting far too much pleasure and getting far too much enjoyment that I can't help myself. I do hate to leave our neighbor up a tree after all. As we go to exit, I stop and notice a family photo in the window. And KHAI, who's feeling just as mischievous as I am, sees the photo and says,
Your family is beautiful. And your daughter is lovely.
She nods at me. I smile and place my hand on our dear neighbor's shoulder and feel the man tense and then give ever so slightly. So in need and say, let the Bakkhai begin, and exit.
You hang up first.
No, you.
I'm gonna miss your face.
You'll see it first thing tomorrow morning.
You're not going on a run?
Even if I do, I'll bring my phone.
I love you.
I love you too.
You hang up first.
Okay, lover. Where's the Eve meeting? I said that I wanted to. Why did they make you click it twice? Jesus. Bye, my.
With no PPE? No way.
Nope.
Hazard pay? Wow, that's crazy. Or predictable. Or both. Definitely both. So, what else? Any meal highlights?
Homemade s'more brownies.
You are amazing.
Oh yeah? Go outside.
Why?
Just go outside. You look like you could use some fresh air.
Okay. My boo started when we were younger. Well, my boo. My boo. Do, 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 do.
That is a lung clearing tincture that totally took care of my last flare up. Just in case.
Thank you.
And those. Cheers.
Oh, honey.
Have you tried one?
I don't. Oh my gosh, they look so good.
Try one. Let's do a toast. You want to go get a glass of milk?
I can't. I don't really do marshmallows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's this weird thing from childhood, but I can totally try.
Oh, no. I'll make you something different tomorrow.
Well, this one's mostly brownie. So,
Mm-hmm.
why didn't you tell me you were?
Huh? Your mouth is full of love.
Why didn't you tell me that you were coming?
Because I wanted to see this face.
Which face?
Your surprise face. It's totally making my day.
Oh, good. Seeing your face in person would have made my day, but this is like such a close second. Yum.
Oh. Yeah, I just wasn't sure. You know, we haven't really talked about.
No, totally.
And I wouldn't trust myself.
Yeah, me neither.
I just had to like eat your face off.
Definitely.
With a kiss.
Exactly.
Speaking of which.
Let me.
My boo started when we were younger. You were my boo.
You sexy little ram.
Why do you always call me that?
Because Aries sounds more like a power bottom. And that's my job. Feel anything?
Not really.
I might need to get you a stronger crystal.
Or we're on Zoom.
No, that shouldn't matter with. There's no such thing as time and space with this particular form of the practice.
That's so cool.
You're so cool.
I love you.
I love you too. Maybe you just need to dance it out?
Yeah, that makes sense. What time should we sign on?
I mean, I feel like the same rules apply. Getting there too early would be the worst.
Being early is like unbearable this way.
Yeah, like when you're on Instagram Live and you're the only one.
Brutal. Yeah.
I love that shirt. You look so good in that shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I guess it's my party shirt.
Where's it from?
Oh. Rosie gave this to me.
They have such good taste. But I knew that already.
What do you mean?
Well, they dated you, so they have excellent taste.
If you say so. Is it weird
What?
that I'm still wearing it?
Girl, a good shirt is a good shirt. You're here with me now, right?
Whatever here is, yeah. Thank you for doing this.
Doing what?
Convincing me to do something special?
Doors close, earths shatter. But I found a cherry seed in my pocket yesterday. On this embankment between worlds, we quickly come, only to expire, only to exhale. So dance. Fire burns, water drowns, breasts fall with the gravity of maternal woe while I cradle my masculine womb. Click goes the mouse, hop goes the weasel. We are in a different dimension now, so dance! Kiss my orange aura and I'll shit on your ideals. I'll fuck my way into your tie-dye dreams. We are only lavender for a short time.
Let me hope a little bit.
Welcome, mortals! Make yourselves comfortable, but don't stay for too long. We are only as free as the cherry seed in my pocket. Show me your moves! I see you, mortal. Sparkling effervescence in a dark night sky. You dance. Your hips, a vortex of healing and revolution. You dance. unafraid to be inhibited by your body's faulty carbon. You dance. So dance with me.
I guess my thing is that calling out call out culture, that's funny. Calling out call outs. The reason why I continue to defend it is because ultimately call out culture is the only power that the disempowered have left. And therefore I don't tolerate tone policing, you know?
Yeah, sure.
What do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Or maybe I don't care? Not sure.
Oh.
I mean, is call out culture one of the only tools the disempowered have left? Yeah. But maybe the disempowered don't need tools. Maybe they just need a different dimension.
A different dimension.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, like they've been telling us for thousands of years to, I don't know, eat strawberries. Like our lives will be better, our problems will be solved by a beautiful plate of strawberries. But what if all this time, the secret's been that if you smash strawberries on your face and breast and run toward the sun at a 45-degree angle, you'll reach enlightenment. And they just never told us. Like, what prophet thought to themselves, fuck eating grapes, let me smash them under my feet and create the best beverage in history? You know? I think it's time for the dispossessed and disempowered to start thinking outside the box.
Right.
Like, you're only as free as the cherry seed in your pocket, you know?
Yeah, and like, did you just quote DJ Dion?
Yeah, I guess I did. You should totally come to their study group. It's so up your alley.
I'm just pretty zoomed out.
Understandable.
Unless it's with you. Of course.
Yeah.
Sexy, sassy. Speaking of which, you wanna?
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah. It's just that dildos, toys, screens, it all just feels like a distraction from claiming what we really want. Like, we should just claim it.
Oh. So what did you want to claim?
Well, sex. Like actual sex. Like flesh that is not my own.
Yeah, I miss that too. But until it's safe, this isn't a bad...
You just have to be patient. I'm just trying to embrace patience rather than tire myself out in this constant search for replacements.
Fair enough. So, what do you want to do?
Did you know there's a way to bring yourself to orgasm just by breathing? So we could breathe together.
Huh.
Or talk about colors.
Are you stoned?
A little. I like to smoke before study group. It makes me more open to the flow of ideas.
Study groups today?
Yeah, it's in like 5 minutes. Are you sure you don't want to come? You would make such an amazing breakout facilitator for the community trauma response group.
I think I'm going to go for a run. Get some fresh air. I love you.
Love you too.
So, yeah, I was definitely one of those kids who was like, but how do we know that when I see orange and when you see orange, it's the same orange? Like, maybe you think that purple is called orange and you're seeing some completely other reality. Yeah, that and the no marshmallows thing. Anyway, any meal highlights? Meals, cooking.
Oh, no. Cooking. No cooking. Just lots of honey, grapes, vegetation mostly.
Got it. Make sure you keep the cherry seeds from your pocket. Kind of like what Dion says.
Dion?
Are you gonna turn your video on? Sexy Ceci? Did I lose you? There you are. Hi. I wanted to see this face.
Yeah, me too.
So, speaking of Dion, I was thinking about what you said about study group.
Yeah?
And you're right. I could be a really strong facilitator, you know? Like, I definitely have relevant experience. And volunteering at the food bank has really given me a more holistic outlook on systems failure in this moment, right?
Honey.
And it would do my work at the library a lot of good to learn more about mutual aid. And I know that's Dion's thing, so we might actually have a lot in common.
Oh, Dion.
Ceci? Cecily? Did you just have an orgasm?
Yeah, I think I did.
I dig it. So, what happened to only other people's flesh?
Oh, I still feel that way.
Oh yeah? Will stripping suffice?
Oh, it's just that
Is someone over there?
Can I call you back?
I mean, I didn't break any of our agreements.
I kind of thought that current circumstances would change things.
Well, we didn't talk about things changing.
Yeah, because we were talking about food shortages and rent strikes, and
It's a stressful time.
that's kind of my point.
We really want to meet you.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Sorry
What are you sorry for?
for saying that they want to meet you.
But you're not sorry for doing it.
Babe, you know how important healing is to me, to both of us. And I just think that spending time with Dion can be a part of that.
Can we, like, not use their name?
It's a stressful time. And like I said, the disempowered need to start thinking out of the box.
And what? Spending time with them while you're FaceTiming your girlfriend is thinking outside of the box?
Not when I was spending time with them, I was in a whole other dimension.
Are you serious? This is so irresponsible and so unsafe.
Oh, I was safe.
I didn't mean protection. I mean, Cecily, you have a pre-existing...
I know how to keep myself safe. And germs aren't even a factor in Dion's dimension.
They told you that and you believe them? And what did I say about that name?
Can we take a break? Maybe for some wine? Clear our heads?
Since when has wine ever cleared anyone's head?
We could meet up in a park? Clear our heads 6 feet apart? That might offer something new for us. A new energy?
I have to get up really early.
It's the middle of the afternoon.
Bye. Fucking god damn it. Seriously?
Nadia, hello.
Hi. Is now still a good time?
Oh yeah, now is perfect. Time is a fiction anyway.
Okay.
You have any questions for me?
Aren't you interviewing me?
I don't think that'll be necessary. I can already tell you'll be excellent for the job. Your aura is the color of justice.
Okay. Fine. Yeah, I do have a question.
I'm listening.
Why are you... why is time a fiction?
Oh, it's very simple. A linear space and time dimension was the invention of imperialists and charlatans trying to sap the last bit of the juice of human transcendence. It's a shame, really.
Yeah.
What do you do, Nadia?
I'm a librarian.
Sexy.
Fuck that. I don't go in for that tired, sexy librarian trope. I have a degree in library science.
I didn't say you were a sexy librarian. I said it's sexy that you are a librarian.
Oh. Well, I mean, knowledge is power, and power is liberatory, and liberation is healing, so I'm a librarian.
So it sounds like you can answer your own question.
My question?
Why is time a fiction? It sounds like
Your aura's thirst for justice is quenched through healing. And healing, like any worthwhile human pursuit, does not occur in a straight line. Am I right?
No. Right.
Well, there you have it. Time is fiction.
Right.
Any other questions?
Why are you messing around with my girlfriend? Hello?
Yes, I'm here. I tend to space out whenever I hear people use terms of ownership. Sorry about that.
What do you mean?
Girlfriend?
Okay, fine. Why are you messing around with Cecily?
Nadia, I really do think you're a lovely person.
No, you don't. You don't even know me.
You're right. Well, I think Cecily is a lovely person.
Yeah, you've been making that very clear.
And I think they, like all mortals, deserve to indulge in a bit of dessert.
So you're dessert? How humble.
Well, Nadia, you're quite a dessert too.
No, I'm not. People aren't desserts.
Yes, they are. They are breakfast, lunch, and dinner too. You should grab a spoon. Do you drink, Nadia?
Sometimes.
Wine?
It makes my head hurt.
You should go outside.
Why?
You look like you could use some fresh air.
Okay. How did you know where I
can tell by the color of your aura that this wine will work well for you. No headaches, just sumptuous, smooth, silky sips. It's a Monte Pulciano.
A what?
Monte Pulciano. Enjoy. We should do this again sometime. We can invite Sexy Ceci.
How did you know that I called him? Okay. I think that your lie is your favorite meal is curry goat because you're a vegetarian.
Oh, honey, drink.
Really?
Anyone who's ever had my dad's curry goat is an instant convert. Facts. Bottoms up. Whose turn is it?
Dion?
I don't subscribe to a singular truth, so I don't think I'm qualified to play this game.
Fair enough. So what should we do now?
I'd like to have a discussion in which we contemplate out-of-body experiences.
Ooh.
What about them?
Describe one. Who's first?
I'll go. I had one recently at the protest. I could see everybody, all those bodies, my body.
You're on the front lines?
Well, that's why I'm self-quarantining.
Thank you for that labor. How very isolating for you two.
Yeah.
Anyway, I recently had an out-of-body experience at Club ecstasis.
Show me.
Stop! Sorry, I need to catch my breath.
Good idea. We should all do some breathing. Feeling better?
Yeah.
Do you know why out-of-body experiences are so important?
Tell us.
It is the culmination of human possibility. Only through ecstasy can we reach the divine.
Yeah. Show us.
You want me to show you?
I want you to make me feel the way I felt when you were...
Licking.
Sorry, Nadia.
It's okay.
Yes. When you were licking.
Your petals.
Yes. When you were licking my petals and I was sucking your salt.
Much obliged. Petals. Salt. Hints of sour cherry. Soil. Skin.
Forest. Truffles. Blackberry. Lips.
I've tasted sex. Sex and the ocean. Wet kisses all over. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm... Your hand is on me, grabbing me like a rock climber on a mountain. I'm the mountain. I'm smooth and firm and alive. Your other hand is searching, knocking on my door. I open my door and I see a bouquet of your fresh fingers. And then there's another set of hands.
I am the ocean that you taste. My waves take, scream, kiss, howl, crash, eat, gnash, growl.
closed door opens to all gods. Knock, knock on the hard curves.
Ride me at the crest and soak in my surf.
Yeah. I am the one who is always just arriving, the one bathed in perpetual delight.
My undertow is a dance for three. 3 sets of hands, 3 sets of lips, 3 sets of eyes looking and tasting.
Yes. Look what I see. My joy in the palms of the empty-handed. So when they pass through their trials by fire, they are reminded of the desire before the desire. Oh.
Where'd they go?
I don't know.
Maybe they're having another out-of-body experience.
Well, I just had an all my body experience.
That was really special.
Well, thank you for convincing me to do something special.
Yeah, whatever. You started it.
True. I love you.
I love you too. And I'm sorry things have been...
It's fine, honey. I know how important it was for you to go. To be there, to be part of it. I wish I could have gone. I wish
that we didn't need tools. Just another dimension.
Oh, that I know. That's just straight facts. But we're good. You're here with me now, right?
Yes, I am.
You going on a run tomorrow?
Maybe. Or maybe we can meet at a park, 6 feet apart, breathe together.
I think that would make me ecstatic.
First, I was found by men marching in formation. It was a long, slow walk, and I took it slowly. I killed a lion. I killed a lion. I was still all red and half mad. And they took me as some kind of mental deficient, some unnatural thing. I was to go on. They left a bit of bread, some gristly fat from a pan in their camp. They didn't know what I did. Exile is not isolation. One is imposed, the other is chosen. Wrote it on a slip of paper and keep it in my wallet. It's a tab to pull in times of distress.
I lived near a church when I first came up. It was a small one-bedroom above a print shop whose Wi-Fi I stole. I became active in the church for something to do and would often carry the Sunday programs over from the print shop. The pastor would put a different Bible quote on the cover each week, and I would sometimes make suggestions that the pastor found distasteful. There was comfort in his oratory. Something made you sit still and listen. Gave you a good shake deep inside. I told him once I liked his style, but only once. Do fucked up stuff like that when you made me feel small, and you always made me feel small, so I was a perpetual fuck up for about 15 years, and thanks for that whole fucking bunch. Lips greasy and fingers slick too. I tugged on a rope, followed where it went, landed on a dock. A boat turned upside down. Turned the boat upright, dropped it in the water, laid down, and sucked splinters from my fingers under the stars, licking the grease down in greedy gulps, but leaving your blood as best I could. I jimmy open the women's room window and get into the building from the small parking lot out back. Sharon sees me first and says I'm looking thin. When the pastor steps into the hall, I hide under the bake sale table and wait until I see his loafers approaching, and the smell of incense burns my nose. He compliments the eclairs, and I grab his ankle. He wears sock garters. I did not see that coming. A woman bunking near me at the shelter smells like malt vinegar poured over oily fish. She talked some, and her story sounds like mine. That is common. Few roads lead to shelters. She said,
I can make you open up. I can make you sing. I may be a sucker for absurdity. She said, "Give me your hand, I'll tell you your past." That's shit fortune telling. Wrong direction. Better in the long run, though. Even if it's bullshit. What's the harm? Someone held your hand a minute? I can tell your fortune for real if you'd like. I come from a long line of gifted clairvoyants. And they're all converging on this moment to warn you not to fucking touch me. Do you understand? She says she doesn't have to guess my past if I'm just going to put it on display like that. I dreamed of a birthday party. His 5th. Figs and honey, goat cheese, and spiced wine, and toasted pine nuts. His wild mane of unkempt hair, chasing his cousin around the table. Pulled back through the ether by something tugging at me. A disembodied hand pawing gracelessly at my ring. I looked down to find the fish woman wedged under my bed, reaching up with her greedy fucking claw to steal my last remnant. You wanted to see my past? Give me your hand. I twisted her wrist until it snapped, and I swear a sheen of oil seeped up my arm. I went through her things, found some packs of crackers that I ate with some jelly packets from the McDonald's across the street. She sat on her cot, setting her wrist with rough-cut bandages and popsicle sticks. I think you have something to say to me. She said, "No, I don't. We used to hang thieves where I come from." She said, "That sounds like a shithole." Huh. Maybe. But it felt like home to me. Now give me your other hand. I'm going to show you your past. I used to swing by the outreach and pick you up fresh sticks. A roll of chocolate chip cookie dough, a 6-pack of Fleet enemas, bundle of dope, and 20 glazed apple fruit pies. Made for a good long weekend. I got the cherry ones once, and we both nearly retched. Cough syrup Pop-Tarts, we said. Brought it all back to the motel and laid it out on the mini fridge. Three Stooges playing on a black and white rabbit ear TV on a TV tray they put near the bathroom. You laugh at that stupid shit and I grin from ear to ear. You say you got a place lined up.
somewhere out of town. It's clean, it's got a lot of windows, a lot of light. You just gotta talk to the landlord. You are bad at bullshitting, and I'm here for it. The top cover is matted in sweat stains, and I threaten to put a quarter in the giant bed vibrator, see where it gets us. You say it'd be like a dog shaking out its fur. You hear they're hiring for the state parks. Summer on your knees tracking invasive species. It's not much, you say, but it's work, and maybe you could do it. It's money. I ask if you want something sweet. Running my nails over your skin. Raising marks. I don't use anymore, but I help you find a vein.
$20 bus fare makes an exile feel porous. Waiting for the 4 a.m. Small cup of coffee and 10 sugars. 2 plain cake donuts and an extra cup. $4.65, but then I can't make it to Baltimore. He doesn't know what to tell me. It's $4.65.
Just the coffee and the empty cup, then? And when he turns his back to make it, I grab what candy I can from in front of the register and shove it in my pockets. My hands are shaking and I'm sweating like I'm feverish. I eat the candy without tasting it. God. I would have eaten anything. You'd swear I never had a bite. Wash it down with the coffee, get 2 or 3 good gulps, and vomit it all back up into the empty cup. The bus pulls in. My stomach twists hard, but nothing else comes up. He usually pulls in just after sunrise and heads in to talk to the clerk. He comes back out about 10 minutes later with a cup of coffee and more men to unload the truck. They load the wire mesh crates full of chickens onto dollies to take into the market. I have been watching them for a week. On the 8th day, when he goes in to talk to the clerk, I reach into the truck bed and lift the mesh gate and grab the first chicken that bites me. We sit around the corner as I catch my breath, running my fingers through its feathers, feeling the tension in the joints beneath its wings, where I hook my thumbs and gently pull, gently tug until it squawks. I annoyed it, so I stop. One chicken and I eat for a week. Maybe more if I stretch. 2 if I go back tomorrow. I try to wring the chicken's neck. Give in to the effort. Press and press against hunger's inertia. The echo inching along my fingers. From a moment long ago that rhymes with this one now. darkness on the mountainside, the taste of copper and clumps of wet fur, acrid as acetone under my nails. Agave, the hunter. Agave, triumphant, and beneath the streams where once ran your blood, where once I danced. Oh, Pentheus, with you. Agave entombed. There are things I can't even whisper. Like that I keep you in the few blank moments just before waking up, when I haven't yet remembered my name. Not the day before, or any before that. But I remember you pretty fucking clearly. Even just for those moments. Then the rest comes back and collapses on top of you. But tomorrow morning, we'll have those few moments again. I press and press, but the chicken is unharmed. Perturbed, but unharmed. It clucks a little as I stroke along its neck with one finger. I go back around the corner and toss the chicken through the window at the driver and take his coffee out of his hand. They both start squawking. Ungrateful pricks. Lord above, how they made me beg. Every moment reaching towards something. Always promised. Never seen. Not just me, not seen by any. A scent, almost forgotten. Lilac, but rotten. Poured like oil through my nose and down my throat like a good bump. But without the chatter, the noise. There were trees growing up all around to fight the slope of the mountain at their feet. Gravity wins. Pulls you towards center. It wasn't an orgy, Euripides. It wasn't an orgy. That was a lie, Euripides. A fantasy for the board? or a lie for the unimpressive. We didn't have the need. We were enough. Rotten lilac and the smell of earth. Endless days and endless hungers. I held a clump of moss above her mouth, squeezed a long, cold drip of water in as we curled up together in a ditch cut into the mountainside and dreamed of Dionysus. I've had dreams. Terrible dreams. Have seen what dreams can do. And dream no more. Lessons learned in the damp of Kithaeron. Change your socks twice as often as you think you'll need to, or you will rot. Eat half as much as your gut demands. Drink twice as much water. Squeeze it from moss. Mean it when you kiss someone. Really lean in when you are cruel sea stars. And never trust the feeling to do right by anyone. I always come back hungry to that empty fucking dish. I moved from the one bedroom above the print shop to a loft down an alley between two dumpsters. I was most drawn to the basement, where some would keep a washer or a dryer, but here was a small circular crucible and a workbench, left behind by the dead artist whose loft I lived in, unclaimed by his estate, and so inherited by me. I did buy a secondhand sander and stole clamps from Home Depot. The day of the wreck, I wasn't in the car, just crossing nearby. Near the church. Magnets in my fucking shoes. One car swerved, the other was speeding. Another soul lost. I would have wept, but I was all in a rush, flushed red and breathing lightly as I ran up on the wreck and found a piece of loose metal ripped from the body of the pickup. I took the metal home and began my work. Sparks cascading from scalding metal as my hammer drove home my most exquisite point. I filed it finer and pressed its plastic handle until my hand taught it its shape. Made for me. Mine, and mine alone. The utter shock of happy flesh pinned beneath the point of a well-balanced blade. It balances on my fucking finger. It won't cut, not me. It's not allowed. And it listens. I carve light letters in the workbench surface for whoever inherits it next. Exile is reckoning, deferred. Backburner pots boil over in time. If he could look through the metal and smoke and flame, the holy smoke pouring up from the crucible and coursing through the air in a crown around my head, he might wonder and say, she makes knives now? She makes knives now.
They say stay within the walls of these 4 rooms. We go anyway, drop our aprons, stop our looms. To the hills, to the heights, the dominion of the pine, not men. To the drums and the dance, with the fire and the wine. We get so high in the woods with the trees, burning blossom on the breeze. We get so high with our God and his ivy crown. But they say you gotta come down.